This is an All Sports Station production.
Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, this is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Kyle Allen and the Washington football team.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Washington football team. The longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They're led out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his third season from Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Allen. With a catch made by Dontrell Inman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now a handoff here to his running back. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
A 2nd and 11 from the 19. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, but now it'll be 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So now on 4th down, Washington will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Giants go to work on offense for the first time, and it's Daniel Jones leading the way, the number 6 pick in the 2019 draft.
A little bit of broken record time, partner, because we know that this young man, Daniel Jones, was a surprise pick at number 6 overall. But I thought that he got better and better as the year went on in his rookie year. A lot of trial by fire. Needs to protect the football better while in the pocket. But when he's at his best, he can throw it and run it. And he's an ascending quarterback. 24 touchdown passes as a rookie.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise. And now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. First down Giants, Jones to Ingram. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Now Jones on first down. He'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. This is Freeman on first and 10. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. They'll run here with Freeman. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Second and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. Throwing Jones, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Caden Smith there to make the grab, and the Giants have taken the lead. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And And this is up and good to make it 7-3. A 10-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The next drive coming up here for the Washington offense, 1-3 through 4 weeks of the season. Now, week 4, tough one against Baltimore. A lot of people thought they would just get blown out of the water. They hung tough but lost 31-17. Terry McLaurin, he's been playing well, over 100 yards again for the second time, but still some inconsistencies there. The offense ranking near the bottom of the league, and the defense, Charles, undoubtedly it misses Chase Young.
Yeah, it certainly does, because now all the guys who are pass rushing from the opposite side, they get more attention. And Dwayne Haskins, their young quarterback, he's got to pick up his game. His head coach Ron Rivera told him, you've got to play better or we may have to make a change. He doesn't want to. He wants him to get the experience. You mentioned Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver. I really like that young man. Second game now this year, over 100 yards receiving. He plays so hard. The crazy part, Brandon, they can still compete in their own division. That division is just struggling. They are still there. They host the Rams, and then they get the 0-4 Giants, and then they play the Dallas Cowboys in D.C.
And Charles, Coach Ron Rivera battling through the treatments of the cancer to stay on the sideline with his team.
Yeah, he certainly has, and one thing we all are around the NFL, we're all Rivera strong. We're with you, Coach.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Being chased out left. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th. And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down. Here's the Pro Bowl punter Tress Way on to punt for Washington. Back deep, Golden Tate. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Well, out comes the Giants offense. Unfortunately, the 0-4 New York Giants offense. Another loss to start 2020 in week 4. This one came at the hands of the Rams, 17-9. So they were very competitive, but ultimately never found the end zone, just 3 field goals. And Joe Judge still looking for that first win. And he's going to have to find some offense, Charles. Daniel Jones is quarterback, 2 touchdowns, 7 turnovers so far this season. They keep trying to fix the offensive line. That hasn't gelled yet. The loss of Saquon Barkley earlier this season in a game at Chicago, that crushes your running game. Daniel Jones, their prize quarterback in his 2nd year, 7 turnovers so far this season, only 2 touchdowns. So the Giants, no touchdowns, 2nd straight game. Point total in their first 4 games, 16, 13, 9, and 9. Not even 12 points a game. But let's face it, they're in the NFC East. If somehow they could put together a hot streak, which would be, what, 2 in a row? They might be in top of their division. 3 division games coming up next 3 weeks, Brandon. At Dallas, home against Washington, at Philadelphia. If the Giants want to make their move, it's now. It has to happen right now.
Well, the protection was pretty good there. He was able to hold on to that for a long time, but just nobody could get open.
Excellent coverage downfield. As you mentioned, no one could get open, and he's just trying to avoid the sack and get the ball out of there, but he ends up dumping it off, and it ended up as a negative yardage play.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. From the gun, Jones. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Greg Stroman back deep for Washington. It's taken to the 26. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Allen, catch here, left side, Thomas. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Allen now looks to throw. Connects here with a tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun and nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's Jones. Throwing again. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another 1st down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Jones. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, Jones. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game and you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Taken about 7 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On first down, it's Gibson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Blake Martinez, second in the league in tackles last year, gets another there. (10-6) the score after one right here on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Allen going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Oh, Thomas unable to reel that one in. And it's 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. New York ready to go again offensively. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Yep. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. 7 yards, the pickup there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
On 2nd and 7, Allen over the middle, it's Thomas. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 18. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Allen. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Hopkins' kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Ballantyne to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Let's go.
New York set to take the field. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Freeman, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But one thing we certainly know, Alabama churns out first-round picks, and there's another nice play there by one of them, Jonathan Allen, the big defensive tackle.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. It's 37. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Jones out to the flat, and that's caught. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jones. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down. Blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced to dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
And this will be off the right upright, but he banks it in. A high degree of difficulty there, but he gets it to go. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. So he needed a little assist from his friend the right upright, but 3 points all the same.
Yeah, he's a right-footed kicker. Normally, you don't mess with the right upright as a right-footed kicker, right? You're trying to bring it back right to left. But in this case, he got the assist. Right was right.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On first down, Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Thomas. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Operating from the gun, Allen. Open man is Antonio Gandy Golden. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. Looking for Inman deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Now Allen again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Dontrell Inman, the intended target. 3rd down here.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And Washington has retaken the lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they'd been down there. They'd been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. And Tate's got it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Jones now throwing on first down. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. Jones on 1st and 10. It's brought in left side by Tate. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Jones.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. Got a man, Slayton. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now Jones on first down. Flush to his right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. On 2nd down, Freeman. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now, Jones apparently a little unsure of everything here, so he steps back and signals for timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Jones from the gun on third down. And it's caught. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it fourth down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you've got the second half to play.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And no reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. Welcome everyone to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. New York ready to go again offensively. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down.
How
many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, and they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the third sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jones. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. Yeah, Freeman was trying to work his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, Jones toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. First possession of the second half now for Washington. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Allen. And his throw here's incomplete. Antonio Gibson, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Can't fault the offensive line for that incompletion at all. He had all day to throw the football. Their alarm clocks went off early today, didn't they?
Absolutely they did. He was surveying, finally let it go, but incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Able to spin free. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. On the crossing route, complete. It's Tate. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off the play fake. Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Tate. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Off play action. Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Jones now, off the play fake. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the left hash, this from 34. Gano's kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Come on now! Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Allen now on 1st down. Inman has it over the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Antonio Gandy-Golden that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dexter Lawrence able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. So possession goes over here on the punt.
But the focus shifts back to Daniel Jones and company.
So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jones. He goes underneath to Freeman. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll be a net of 39. 41-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And the Washington offense heading out.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On first down, it's Gibson. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 31, Allen. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun. Allen looking middle, and it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Allen to throw once more. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
He'll find Gandy Golden there, complete.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen is going to find his running back. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he'll give it here to his running back. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
Washington on third down.
Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Allen. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 2nd down now, it's Gibson, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
They go play action here on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
And now out come the Giants.
And they have to try and move past that pick six because now they're dealing with a fourth quarter deficit, and they need this drive to end in points. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing after the interception. Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen, the former 1st-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But there's almost no doubt about the play call there on 3rd down and long. You figure they're going to throw the football. I've got to give a little credit to the offense for taking a little bit of a chance there, running the draw, hoping to catch them off guard, but the defense was ready.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is fielded at the 27. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a tired defense out on the field right now. They desperately need a stop to get the ball back to their offense, but they're having trouble getting that done. Another gut-wrenching run right there.
They'll run on first down. Gibson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Second and 7. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And that's complete to Gandy Golden. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 42. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
A throw over the middle taken in. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Here's McKissick. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Allen. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And Ron Rivera, he's going to keep the offense on the field. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field.
but he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
58, right over there.
Jones throwing on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way full steam, and he broke that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jones.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
Daron Payne picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
From the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense.
A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here's Tressway now. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Evan Ingram works his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. So after he looked really good early, they haven't been able to find the big tight end as much. What gives?
Well, sometimes that's not in the game plan defensively. They're trying to take away other people, or they weren't expecting him to get off to such a hot start. But now they know he's out there. They've made a few adjustments, surround him with a few more people, a few different coverages. Let's see if he makes the adjustments now. Does he change up a few things to try and work his way open?
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
They'll set up the screen for Freeman. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a Giant 1st down on a gain of 16. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. Back to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. He'll look to throw. And Tate's got it. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Freeman.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
Over the middle, complete to Tate.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line.
24-yard line.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got 1 timeout left, want to save it.
Jones signaling, let's go, try to get his guys up to the line. Now Jones on 1st and 10. That's complete to Slayton. Now here's a timeout as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. From the left hash, this for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.